Hey Lisa, wake up right now. I have to talk to you about something really, really important.
Nick, it's 3 a.m. What are you doing trying to call me on the phone right now?
It's because I have something huge that we need to talk about right this instant. You know how you met my friend yesterday?
Oh, are you talking about Emily? Yeah, you invited her out to eat lunch with us yesterday. What about her?
Well, the thing is that after you broke off, Emily and I ended up hanging out for a bit afterward. And anyways, she gave me her final score on you.
Her final score? What is that supposed to mean? And I didn't know that the two of you were still hanging out after that. I thought that we all went our separate ways after we had lunch. I mean, you dropped me off at home, and I thought that you went back home as well.
Well, yeah, I dropped you off, but then I met back up with Emily afterward. She wanted to tell me about the final score that she gave you. She was watching you to see if you were going to be a good fit for me to marry.
Sorry, so you're telling me that whole time we were having lunch, your friend was secretly judging and grading me?
You do realize that we just celebrated our 10th anniversary as boyfriend and girlfriend, right? And don't you think it's about time that you and I finally got married? Of course, I realized this would be a really big decision for the both of us, so I asked my friend to try and give me an unbiased third-person perspective on you.
So if I understand this, you're telling me that the whole reason you invited your friend and introduced her to me was so that you could have her rate me? Then again, I did think it was really weird that you were even introducing me to one of your friends in the first place, since I haven't really met any.
But Emily is a really, really good friend of mine, and we've known each other since we were in elementary school. So that's why I wanted her to administer the final test to you.
Well, okay, I guess that sort of makes sense. How did I do then? Did I pass in Emily's eyes?
No, Lisa. I'm afraid you didn't pass at all, actually. And that's why I think that you and I should break up.
Wait, what? You're telling me that Emily told you that you and I shouldn't get married?
That's right. She was very honest about her opinion, and she said that you just wouldn't be a good fit for me. She told me that I would be better off looking for a better woman than you. So, I'm sorry, but that's why you and I have to break up now. I realize now how much better I could be doing.
But, hold on. You mean that you're really going to break up with me because a friend told you to? We've been together for a whole decade. You can't just subject me to some test I don't even know about and decide to end it all because I didn't pass it.
No, this isn't just some arbitrary thing I was putting you through. Surely you can understand how well a friend I've known as long as Emily would serve as a judge of character for me and anyone I was dating. I trust her to know who would and wouldn't be a good fit for me, so I take her advice very seriously.
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, I only met her once. How can she pretend to know me after such a short interaction? I'm sorry, but I think it's just absurd for you and I to break up over something silly like this.
Lisa, you really don't know Emily like I do. She's a really sharp girl, and she knows these kind of things better than anyone else I know of. You didn't offer to get us water when we all sat down. You didn't offer Emily a bite of your food to try. You just weren't being charming at all, and Emily saw right through that.
What? Are you really telling me that that's what I got failed for?
It may not be enough for you, but I was more than convinced by Emily's assessment of you. So I just really don't think that I can see a future with you now. Instead, I'm going to take Emily's advice to me and break up with you before we get any deeper into this.
I don't believe this. You're really just going to throw away 10 years of dating me because of what one friend tells you? This is insane. Why didn't you stick up for me at all?
What should I have told her that she wouldn't have already seen? Besides, Emily is one of my best friends, and I know that she's going to know what's best for me. Maybe even more so than I would myself. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go against what Emily says when I know how good her intuition is.
So then you're really going to go through with this? Even though we've been dating for 10 years? Even though we were talking about getting married?
I'm really sorry about this, Lisa, but after hearing what Emily had to say about you, I realized that I can't marry you the way you are now. You got a long way to go before I could even think of marrying you now.
Hey there, Lisa. I was watching that whole conversation between you and Nick just now. It must really suck to be broken up with by your boyfriend so early in the morning, right? Wait, what? What do you mean? Are you saying that you were with Nick when he was texting me? I'm just saying that I'm so sorry that it seems your boyfriend broke up with you because of what I had to say to him. I was only giving him my personal opinion on the matter. So I hope you can see that it's really not my fault that he chose to listen to me, right? But he said that if I didn't think you were good enough for him, then you must really not be good enough for him. You didn't answer my question, though. Are you there with Nick right now? You've been watching our text conversation this whole time? That's right. We had so much fun after lunch and ended up hanging out all night. In the end, he missed the last train back home and had to sleep at my place. After all, he was in no place to drive by the time we finally were ready to call it a night. I don't even know what to say to any of this right now. Are you telling me that my boyfriend spent the night at another woman's house, only to text me early the next morning and tell me that he was breaking up with me? That's right, but don't let this get you down. I'm sure you'll find a man that you're more suited to be with. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Although it is so sad that this means the end for your 10-year-long relationship with Nick. But I'm sure that someone just like Nick will come along for you at some point in the future. You just wait and don't give up hope. I don't need any comforting words from you, thank you very much. If anything, you're going to be the one who needs good luck. And just why should I have anything to worry about in any of this right now? Come on, you don't see how obvious it is that you two should be together? I mean, Nick may have cut me off, but you two have been friends even longer than we were dating. I think that if anything, you should probably just date Nick. Even if all you'd be doing otherwise is making him break up with his girlfriend. Oh, I see what you're trying to get at with all of this. Let me tell you that you don't have to worry about a single thing when it comes to that. I don't think I'll have to rate any more girls after you. And just what is that supposed to mean then, huh? Well, it's because I'm already taking your advice, and Nick and I are, in fact, already dating each other. So I'll never have to save him from a girl like you again. Wow. You're kidding me, right? Are you two actually going out so soon after breaking up with me? That's right. I mean, it's like Nick said, there isn't another girl in the world who knows him as well as I do. And after all this time has passed, it's clear to him that he and I are meant to be together. I think it's kind of funny the way he just perfectly transferred from you to me, but it really does make sense when you think about it. I don't think this is funny at all. You used your position as his friend to get yourself into a place where you could keep other women from him. I bet you were trying to find a way to date him this whole time, but that doesn't make you a good friend. You were just manipulating him. You really think that I won't be able to make Nick as much, if not more, happy than you were able to make him? I think the two of you are more suited for each other than you realize. Now, goodbye.
Lisa, it's been so long since you and I have last talked. How have you been? You doing well?
Nick, what are you doing texting me? What do you want? What is this about?
Well, I was just thinking that you and I are getting pretty up there in age now, and, well, I was wondering if you'd like to marry me.
Excuse me? You're really asking me if I would like to marry you?
I mean, you're almost in your 40s now, aren't you? So am I, and I'm still single, so why don't you and I get married?
Now hold on just a moment. I thought that you and Emily were dating each other this whole time. What happened to that? Did you two break up? Is that why you're running straight back to me? Ugh, this has got to be a joke.
Don't even say her name around me. I broke up with that other woman. She got pregnant and then kept bugging me about getting married. But then it turned out that the kid she was having wasn't even mine, so we broke up because she cheated on me.
You're kidding me. That's really how you two ended up splitting up?
That's right. It was actually the other guy who reached out and told me about the whole thing. But I did my research and found out that the kid really wasn't mine. But I still couldn't believe it. It was just such a shock.
Yeah, well, if you two were talking about getting married, I can see how hearing something like that would ruin just about everything.
But she was my friend for so long. Maybe even my best friend, and she betrayed me like that. I still can't believe that it's happened even now. But then I remembered you. Then I remembered that I was single again, so I figured now that Emily and I are through, you and I could get married.
And that's why you chose to reach out to me like this then? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, we were dating for 10 years and you never once lied to me. You're always so kind and sweet, and you took care of me too. It's clear that you were, and still are, the only girl for me.
Give me a break. You've got some nerve talking to me after 3 years and trying to flirt like this. Honestly, even reading these messages is enough to piss me off. You're only coming back to me because you got broken up with.
Well, yeah, that's true. But isn't this the perfect chance for you and I to get back together? I seriously doubt you have that many suitors at your age. Are you really going to tell me that you'd rather be single and old than be with a catch like me? I thought you'd be just a little more excited to hear from me after all this time.
You did not actually just type that message and send it to me, did you?
Oh, come on, Lisa. Can't we just calm down and talk about this rationally? Do you really think you'll be able to find another man who wants to marry you at this age? It's not like you'd even be able to give a husband to yours kids or anything at this point.
Oh, I'm sure you are doing all of this because of how concerned you are about my prospects.
Just saying that I'm here as a choice for you, and I think a very good one at that. Don't you remember how good it was when we were together? We can have that again. We can still even have kids if we hurry. Let's just think of the past 3 years as a short break. It's nothing compared to the decade that we spent together.
I will have you know that I already have a husband and children. Thank you very much.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that?
I mean that I want you to stop all of this nonsense right now. Did you really think there was even a chance that you and I would end up together? You're acting as if I'm delusional when you're the one hitting up old flames because you're so desperate at your age. But good luck finding someone who'll marry you and have kids with you now.
Wait, hold on a second. What do you mean that you're married and have kids? I mean, I thought that you were single. How do you have a family?
Are you stupid? I mean, was that a real question? I don't even know what to say. You literally answered it for yourself. I got married, and then I started a family. It's how the whole thing works.
Hold on a second. You're telling me that you got remarried. You actually managed to find a man willing to marry a woman like you. But how could you do that without asking me first?
Why in the world would I need your permission to marry someone after we broke up? Besides, I started dating my husband a year after you left me. We got married a year later, and then we had our first child not long after.
This can't be happening. You're supposed to be mine. All mine. But then you go and get married and have a child with some other man.
Nick, seriously, what are you even talking about? You and I broke up 3 years ago. You have no say at all with what I can and can't do in my life.
But look, I know that Emily said that you and I weren't meant to be together, but I never actually wanted to break up with you. Besides, what's the deal with you moving on and getting married and having kids so quickly after we broke up? Don't you think you moved on way too fast after a 10-year relationship?
Who do you think you are telling me that? You were the one who slept with your best friend and texted me that we were breaking up the next day.
You can't compare the two. They're completely different.
Whatever, I really don't have time for this nonsense. Have a nice life, Nick.
Wait, no, you can't just go. Please. Emily betrayed me, and now you're the only person that I can turn to. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Why don't you go and make up with your so-called best friend and leave me alone, huh? I have to take care of my baby.
You're horrible. How could you cheat on me like this? How could you have another man's baby and still want to raise it?
Maybe because it's the child of me and my husband, and as her mother, that's what I'm supposed to do. You really need to get a life and stop chasing after what you had in the past. We are over, and that's final. Lisa, thank you so much for the other day. Thanks to what you said, I was able to patch things up with Nick, and he and I decided to get married again. I'm going to be the best wife I can and give him a lovely family. Wow, so you two really talked things over and decided to get back together? That's right. He said that you really put his feet to the fire and made him think about a lot of things. He said that he realized it was his fault for pushing me into the arms of another man. And he also took responsibility for me having another man's baby as well. I don't know what you said to him, but thank you so much for convincing him to get back with me. I really didn't do anything for you or him, but whatever. I hope that you two get it right this time. It's just that here I thought you were so mad at the two of us for what happened in the past, but now I see what kind of person you really are. And I hear that you're a mother now, too. That really is amazing. I'm still pregnant with mine, but I'm going to come to you for lots of advice on what I can do. And if you want to give me a bunch of old baby things that you have, like toys and clothes, that would really be great. Hold on a second, let me make something clear for you, Emily. I do hate you and Nick very much. I don't want to be friends, and I didn't talk to Nick with the intention of saving your marriage. So I'm not going to give you advice or free anything. Do you understand? Lisa, come on. What way is that to act towards another young mother? Don't you see we have so much in common now? Maybe we could do a double date one day, and you could introduce us to your husband, and then our families can be good friends. I mean, I'd just love to meet whatever loser actually decided to marry you. Ah, that's what I was waiting for. You should know that my husband is actually a supervisor at your company. I take it you know a Mr. Brown, right? Hold on a second. You're telling me that you're married to Corey Brown? That's right. And he's always complaining to me about being harassed by the woman at his workplace. I asked him a bit about it once, and he mentioned your name. Sometimes the world really is too small, but anyways, you should know you're already on thin ice with him. You're kidding me, but I hardly even do anything. It's not my fault I have such strong, womanly charms. By the way, I assume you've hidden all this from Nick, but I've heard from Corey, who heard through the office grapevine, that your baby's dad is a married man from your office. Corey normally wouldn't care at all about that kind of thing happening in the office since he doesn't like drama, but he couldn't abide it after he caught you two intimately using some office space. You mean that your husband actually saw us doing it at work? That's right. So I guess if you really want to have that double date, we could, but just know that my husband is pretty weak when it comes to drinking and loves to gossip after a couple pints. What? No, forget it. You two keep far away from the two of us, and whatever you do, don't tell Nick about this.
Here I thought I was going to marry Emily, and now I'm being sued instead. Where did my life go wrong?
Not that I care about your question, but what do you mean you're being sued?
I finally figured out who the father of Emily's baby is. It's a married man she works with. I found out because the guy's wife showed up at our house and said she was going to be suing Emily for the affair. But Emily doesn't have any money, so she's asking me to pay all $30,000 that this guy's wife is demanding from us.
Well, you did agree to close your eyes to the fact of Emily's affair and pregnancy, so I suppose you'll have to pay for this.
But I didn't do anything. I'm the victim here. Besides, I didn't know she was sleeping with married guys. He should be paying us child support. But he said that since Emily never told him about it, that he won't have to.
You know, I feel the worst for this poor kid Emily's going to have.
Well, you should feel bad for me. But please, look, you have to get back together with me. Trying to fix things with Emily was a huge mistake.
This has got to be a joke. You did not reach out to me to try and get back together. I don't know why I expected anything different from you. You all got yourselves into this mess, and I refuse to be dragged down to your level. Now, for the last time, leave me alone. After that, I hear that Nick and Emily stayed together and even went through with the marriage and had Emily's child. I also heard that they tried to hide the baby from their parents who were begging for a grandchild. Meanwhile, Nick had to pay for Emily's lawsuit and lost $30,000 for it. They couldn't keep the child a secret forever, and before long, Nick had to beg to his parents for help taking care of it. In the end, Emily and Nick had to move in with his parents in order to get the help they were asking for. I haven't heard a word about or from either of them since then.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.